Well, hello. This is Ayush here, and this is the very first video of our video series for this semester. This video focuses upon command line arguments. So, starting with the very first thing, what exactly are command line arguments? So, the arguments that we pass on to main function from the command prompt are called command line arguments. Consider this example. For instance, if I have a sample1.cpp file that I need to execute. So for that, I will build this file first using this build command where I am naming my executable to be solution. So after this command, an executable named solution will get created in the same directory where our sample1.cpp file is. Then to execute this executable without any command line arguments, we can simply type /solution. Now if we need to pass two file names as command line arguments, then what we can do is we can type /solution data.txt and xy space x data.txt space xyz.txt. So over here we are passing two command line arguments, that is two file names as command line arguments to our main function, and those two file names are xyz.data.txt and xyz.txt. Now since we are passing these arguments to main functions should also receive these arguments. In order to receive these arguments via main function, we write our main function as int main int argc char star argv. Now what's this argc and argv? Firstly, argv. So argv, as you can see, it's an array of pointers to strings. That is, argv is an array of pointers that points to these three strings. So argv of 0, as you can see, argv of 0 would point to the first string which we mentioned in our command, which is /solution. So argv of 0 points to solution. Argv of 1 would point to data.txt, which is the next string that we typed, and argv of 2 would point to xyz.txt, which is the third string that we typed. Now over here I have just considered that the string /solution is stored in memory at address 278658. Therefore argv of 0 would contain the address of this memory location. Similarly, argv of 1, since it's pointing to data.txt, it would contain the address of this memory location, and argv of 2, since it's pointing to xyz.txt, it would contain the address of this memory location. Now this was all about argv. Now what is argc? Argc is simply an integer that keeps a track of the total number of strings that we have typed while running the executable. So over here the total number of strings that we typed were 1, 2, 3. That's why, so argc's value is 3. We can also say that argc is equal to the number of arguments of argv array, or is equal to the size of the argv array. So the size of the argv array here is 0, 1, 2, which is 3, and argc is 3. So this was all the theoretical concepts about argc and argv and command line arguments. Now let's have a look at an example. So over here I have two text files, data.txt, which contains this data, and second xyz.txt, which contains this data. Now what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to pass these two files as command line arguments to my program, which is sample1.cpp, and I'm trying to read data.txt using a command line argument. So first of all, in order to build this sample1.cpp, I would simply type this command g++ sample1.cpp dash this dash o solution. So solution is the name of my executable over here, and I'm simply gonna pass data.txt, which is the first argument, and xyz.txt, which is the second file name, as command line arguments to this program. Upon passing this, I get the output as this. Executable file's name is /solution. This is the very first print output that I get. So let's have a look at the code. So it starts from main, and it checks whether argc is unequal to 3. Now argc is the number of arguments. So the number of arguments, or the number of strings, or the size of the argv array is 3 over here. So this condition will not be true, and our control will not go inside this if condition, and it's gonna simply execute this statement which says executable file's name is argv0. Now as I told you earlier, argv of 0 over here, it points to /solution, which is the name of our executable. That's why we are getting the output as executable file's name is /solution. Now let's look at the next line, which says first file name is argv of 1. Again, argv of 1. So argv of 1 here points to data.txt. That's what is getting printed over here, since data.txt was the first file name. So first file name is data.txt, which is argv of 1. This. Then second file name is argv of 2. Now argv of 2 would point to xyz.txt. That's why it says second file name is xyz.txt. Had there been another file after this, say abc.txt, then abc.txt would have got stored in argv of 3, and we would have simply printed out, see, our third file name is argv of 3. After this, what I'm doing in this program is that I have simply declared an ifstream type object, ifstream fs, and using this object I'm trying to read the file data.txt. Now instead of providing the file name over here data.txt, I'm providing argv of 1. Again, what does argv of 1 point to? Argv of 1 points to data.txt. So it's simply trying to open data1.txt file over here, and it's reading that file until the end of it, and it's reading this file word by word and printing that word in a new line, and then I'm simply closing the file. So that is the rest of the output, which says Facebook, Google, Microsoft. That is, it has read this file word by word and printed out each word in a new line. Well, that was all about command line arguments as of now. Bye bye.